Mark Cuban is one of the most decorated entrepreneurs in America. He has garnered and maintained quite a big fan base, with the help of the reality television series Shark Tank, but it has taken him a long way to become the man he is today. He also owns the Dallas Mavericks basketball franchise, which won the 2011 NBA championship. The franchise is one of his most valuable assets, as it is worth $1 billion. It turns out that the Dallas Mavericks are not the only thing he loves or has a passion for. Want to know it all? Keep watching! Welcome to the channel, and today we are going to take a look at Mark Cuban's car collection. 1966 Buick LeSabre. Before Cuban became a big millionaire or a well-known personality, the 1966 Buick LeSabre was the car that used to be his daily driver. Cuban used to drive this beauty before he was 25. Like any other regular car, this one cost him a cheap $200. Back then, the Buick LeSabre was one of the most common vehicles on the roads. It was considered mediocre aesthetically, but today it is one of the most sought-after cars in the collection of many millionaires and car collectors. While this car has been called an exotic driving machine, it only cost $3,000 to get the exact model Cuban owns. This car was a fantastic match for Mark, as it helped him save money by reducing maintenance expenses. The car was famous for its resistivity and did not need service now and then for every minor damage or problem. This legendary car ended after the last version of the LeSabre was discontinued in 2005, after completing its 46 years of existence, since its beginning in 1959. Fiat X19. Like the Buick we mentioned, the Fiat X19 was one of his other underrated vehicles at the time. Like Buick, this car was cheap, keeping things and expenses cheap for the Mark, before he blossomed into riches. His Fiat X19 had a hole in the floorboard, which was cool to mention. Cuban had stated that even if the cars were not that beautiful, it was all needed to become rich. While he did not say that precisely as we quoted, this is what he meant to make you understand easily. This Fiat is considered one of the best vintage cars Fiat ever made. So, the ugly of the past is the beauty in the present. But the thing has time to shine, and the Fiat X19 is shining more than ever after a long time. The car was produced from 1972 to 1989 and became more recognizable by the end of its life. This Fiat today would be worth thousands of dollars. Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard. Now this car can be called the car with the most drip, as the Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard is one of the most beautiful looking cars, and the pictures speak for themselves. It is a very aesthetically pleasing and a really rare piece of drive, since this needs special access to go drive around. This car was not made for ordinary people, but specifically produced for some of the most exclusive people, like A-list celebrities, world leaders, and military leaders of many independent states. And it is a perfect match for a billionaire like Mark, and this car is also used by many other wealthy people worldwide. So it gives us no surprise that he owns one. But what surprises us the most is he was spotted many times driving the car by himself, as this car is made with the passenger in mind, and Mark driving this car instead of his driver surprises us. This car takes a year and a half to complete with the guard attached to the car. The guard itself weighs 11,200 pounds, which makes the work even longer to complete. Apart from the Mercedes F1 car, this is the next costliest thing made by the German giants, and this cost is a total of $1.96 million to manufacture, making it the most costly Mercedes made for the road. And a $200 car to a $1.96 million car seems like a proper upgrade, doesn't it? The 1955 Court Custom Line. Cuban seems to be a big fan of classic cars, as this is the third car that was made in the 20th century, and I think we can go a bit far by saying the most beautiful car of the 20th century. And this is one of those cars which stand the test of time aesthetically and technically. The Customs line was hailed as one of the best-looking cars back in the day, and the remark has been attached to the car ever since. And the backstory of buying this car was excellent and funny, as he went on the reality TV show Fast and Loud and used the help of Gas Monkey Garage to find himself a good car. The Ford Custom line definitely suited his taste, as it looked like love at first sight for Cuban. And just like how he wished the vehicle still had the retro interior and the vintage exterior made him turn his head back, which made him buy that day. The vehicle has a restored museum piece, and the tires are still original. Cuban is interested in old and vintage cars, unlike modern cars, and he always preferred the vintage look over a more filtered and dull look. Cuban also uses this car to embarrass his daughter, as he blasts the classic hip-hop when he drives her to her school. No matter how rich or old you are, you can always be a cool dad. Alright guys, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more videos just like this. See you guys next time!